Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Sarvalokaram Bhijaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Shri Dakshina Murtaye Namaha Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Guru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Gajananam Bhutaganaadisevitam Kapittajambhupalasaravakshidam Umasutam Shokavinashakaranam Namami Vigneshwara Padapankajam Shuklambaradaram Vishnum Shashivardam Chaturbhujam Prasanavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Vyasam Vasishtanaptaram Shakte Pautramakalmasham Parasharatmajam Vande Shukadatam Taponidhim Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasarupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasishtaya Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye. Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Naksh, Nikash, any problems? Okay, let's start. So we saw yesterday and day before yesterday about Janamajaya's snake sacrifice and how all the stories leading up to that. So we'll continue that probably this week, and maybe next week we will cover the story about the snake sacrifice itself, what happened there, why it happened, and all those things. Okay, so today related to that, we will look at why did Janamejaya think about doing such a thing, a sacrifice of snakes. Okay, when you're preparing homa, instead of offering ghee, you offer snakes in there into the fire. Why did he think about such a cruel thing? Okay, why did he think about doing such a sacrifice? Okay, so in that connection, we look at a story. Suta Mahamani narrates a story of Dhaumya, Rishi Dhaumya. Okay, Dhaumya was famous Rishi, and he has many students. Okay, among them, Mahabharata narrates about 3 of them. Okay, their names are Aruni, Upamanyu, and Veda. Okay, 3 students: Aruni, Upamanyu, and Veda. So again, just to give background, if you don't know, so in the olden days, when children at your age, okay, when they are 8 years, 10, 12, depending on which varna they come from, which group they come from, they used to go to Gurukula. Okay, Gurukula is like a boarding school. Okay, you go to Guru's house, do the service to the Gurus, learn whatever Guru teaches, and you spend time there. You can't come home, you can't make messages to send messages to home. Okay, if Guru gives you food, you eat. If Guru doesn't give, you sleep hungry. Okay, but Gurus always used to take care of their children, but they also used to give them strict conditions and rules and things like that which they had to follow. Okay, it was a very difficult learning because that's how people used to learn. Okay, learning for the future life, if somebody has to be good, the idea is they used to be strict in young age. If they are strictly followed, then rules are followed, then they will learn. Okay, otherwise they will become naughty. I can see some people are naughty in this class as well, moving around, fighting with the person sitting next to them and things like that. Okay, so Guru will become strict if you become naughty. So they here again, so what used to happen is Guru used to allocate work to the students who come there, okay, who used to live with them. They used to take care like their children. Okay, if you are at home, your parents may not ask you to wash and clean and things, but some parents do, right? So they ask you to do some work apart from just you watching TV and playing in your Xbox or PlayStation or whatever it is. They ask you to do some work as well, right? So guru as well, apart from teaching, they used to give them some work. Okay, the work can be varied. Okay, if the childrens are good, they could be doing close to the home. If they are need a little bit more lessons, they are a little bit more naughty. Guru used to give them 10 cows. Okay, and then say, look after these cows, and until they become 100, don't come back home. Okay, look after them. So every year they used to look after, and the cow gives another calf a year or two, and then that calf gives another calf. Like that, the numbers used to grow. Okay, till it becomes 100, they used to look after that. Till that time, no teaching, it's just learning of the life lessons at Guru's ashram. Like that, different work they used to allocate. Okay, here let's see what Dhaumya asked his 3 students to do. First one is Aruni. We look at Aruni's case. Okay, so Aruni, one day it was raining heavily. What Dhaumya tells Aruni is, if the water from the hills comes very fast near his home, all the plants he has planted will be washed away by that. Okay, so he tells Aruni, go and slow down the water, put some blocks in there. Okay, slow down the water so that it doesn't come very fast. It comes trickling down slowly so that it doesn't damage the whatever that's plants and everything is there in the downstream. Okay, so Aruni goes, he goes there, he tries to do all the things. He puts leaves, branches, trees, stones, he puts soil, everything, but the water was so strong, it wasn't slowing down. Okay, he tries and tries and tries, he keeps trying that. It becomes late in the evening. Dhaumya thinks, where is Aruni? He hasn't come back. Why he hasn't come back? Okay, it becomes very dark. Dhaumya is worried. Okay, he goes away looking for Aruni. Okay, he goes there and then he calls Aruni, Aruni, where are you? And then Aruni says, sir, I am here, I'm here. And Dhaumya can hear his voice, but he can't see him where he is. And then finally finds him, Aruni, sleeping, okay, on the water channel. Okay, and then Dhaumya asks, what are you doing? Why are you like that, lying around? Okay, he's not sleeping. Okay, he was awake. Okay, he was lying around. So Dhaumya asks, what are you doing? Aruni says, I tried everything. I tried to put logs, I tried to put leaves, I tried to put soil, rocks, whatever it is. It wasn't stopping. The only way I can slow down the water was myself lying around, okay, and then slowing this water. That's what I'm doing. If I stand, the water will become very fast. So that's why I'm lying down here. That's the only way I found it's effective. Dhaumya was very pleased with him. He says, you are going to be known from this time as Uddalaka. Okay, Uddalaka becomes very famous rishi on his own. He learns, and then Dhaumya teaches him a lot of things. Okay, so he learns all the Vedas and everything, acquires knowledge, everything from Dhaumya, Aruni. That is the first student. Again, here, the important thing is, whatever the guru says, the disciple does it. Okay, they do their best to do that. That's what Aruni did, and that's what pleased Dhaumya. Okay, then we go to the next student, whose name is Upamanyu. Okay, Upamanyu was asked to look after cattle, cows. Okay, he was looking after cows, and then as a Brahmin boy, he used to go for begging. Okay, begging in the sense bhiksha. Okay, it is called bhiksha. He used to go, Brahmins go for bhiksha, and they go to a number of houses. Okay, they can only go to a limited number of houses. 7 houses they can go in a day. Okay, if they get bhiksha in that 7 houses, they eat. If they don't eat. That's the life of a Brahmin. Okay, so what Upamanyu used to do is, apart from looking after cattle, he used to go to his bhiksha, and then he used to eat that. Okay, Dhaumya noticed this boy, even though Dhaumya is not feeding him a lot, he's becoming very, very fat. Okay, chubby. Okay, Dhaumya notices, he asks him, what are you eating? You're adding a little bit of tire in your stomach. I can see belly is little bit fat, chubbiness everywhere. What are you eating? Okay. And Upamanyu says, every day I go to Bhiksha, I get a lot of food, I eat that. And then Dhaumya says, whatever Bhiksha you get, you first give that to Guru. Okay, to your Guru. Okay, this is a lesson to you as all as well. If you earn something, you give that to your parents. Okay, whoever is feeding you, you give it to them, and then if they give it back to something to you to eat, then you eat that. Dhaumya says, you have to bring that to me. Okay, you can't eat on your own. Whatever you get, you have to bring that to me. Upamanyu says, okay, sir. Okay, and then few days goes, and then Dhaumya notices this boy is still growing big. Okay, and then he asks him, brings him, Upamanyu, come here. What are you eating these days? And then Upamanyu says, sir, I go to 7 houses, and then whatever bhiksha, whatever the alms I'm getting, I will give it to you. And then I go to another 7 houses after that, and then I get from that food I am eating. Okay. Dhaumya says, no, you can't do that. Your limit is only 7 houses. Upamanyu says, oh, okay. And then he continues. Okay. Few more days goes. And then this boy is still growing big. He's becoming still chubby. And then Dhaumya becomes a little bit more suspicious. He calls him, what are you eating these days? Well, how come you're like this? And then he says, you know, I look after all the cows. They give a lot of milk. I drink a lot of milk from them. Okay. And Dhaumya says, no, you should not do that. Those milk is for the cows. Okay. Not for you. Okay, sir. Okay. And then he goes away. Few more days gone. And then Dhaumya again calls him. What are you doing these days now? He says, when the cows are eating, from their mouth, the milk drips. Okay. I hold my hand like this. I get enough milk because there are so many cows. I get enough milk, and from that I'm surviving. Dhaumya says, no, you should not do that. If you do that, because then cows are dropping a lot of milk for you, kindness, they are not eating. So you should not do that. Upamanyu says, okay, sir. Okay, I do everything you say. Okay. So far he hasn't broken any rules, but he's finding a way to get out of those rules. Okay. So this time Upamanyu, now he realizes that he should not do any of that. So he was very hungry one day, and then he could not stand because he used to eat so much every day. He could not starve. Okay. He was starving, and then he thinks, okay, I'm going to eat something. And then he finds a plant and then he eats it. Okay. That plant is called arka. Arka is used in a homas and everything. This stem is used. Okay. And that leaves gives a kind of milk. Okay. When you break the plant, it gives kind of a milky syrup. Okay. That syrup is burning sensation. Okay. It burns. If it touches on your skin or anywhere, it burns. He, without knowing Upamanyu, he eats that leaves. Okay. While breaking it, he burns all his throat, leaves, tongues, everything he burns, and leaves from that syrup goes in his eyes, and he become blind. Okay. He could not see anything. He was heading home thinking, I have to go and tell this to my guru. And then he falls into a well. Okay. A old well was there. He falls into that. Poor Upamanyu was there. Dhaumya was worried. It's already dark. This guy hasn't come back home. What happened? I told him not to eat anything. He might have suffering a lot with hunger. He might be fainted somewhere. Okay. Dhaumya goes searching for him, and then he finds him in that well. Okay. Dhaumya says, what happened? He explains, I was so hungry, I could not stand. Every day I used to eat so much, and today I didn't eat anything. So that's why I eat this leaf. And then that went into my eyes. I could not see anything. I'm burning, my throats, everything is burning now. I can't see anything, and I fell into this well. Dhaumya says, the only way you can be rescued is if you worship Ashwins. Okay. Ashwin are two Ashwins, they are the kind of doctors in deities. Okay, Indra's place in heaven, they are the deities of medicine. Okay, worship them, they will give you the medicine and they will make you better. Okay, Upamanyu worships them and Dhaumya gives him the diksha. Diksha is initiation and the mantras which he need to chant. Okay, there itself, Upamanyu standing inside the well, okay, he prays Ashwins. And then from his prayer, Ashwinis, they come to him and then they give him payasa. Payasa is the payasa, you know payasa, everybody? Payasa is rice with milk, sugar and everything, yes? So it's made with that. So they give him payasa saying, you eat it, okay? If you eat it, you will get your eyes back and all your burning sensations will go away. Upamanyu says, I'm not going to eat it. I can't eat it. Before giving it to my guru, I can't eat it. Whatever I earn belongs to my guru. I can't eat it. Okay. Ashwini's god, deities, they become very pleased with him. Okay. They give him his eyes back immediately and then they bring him out of the well. Upamanyu takes that payasa to his guru, Dhaumya, and then Dhaumya was very pleased. Okay, you learned your lesson. Okay, so and then he gives him all the upadesha and blesses him with full knowledge. Okay, Upamanyu again then later becomes a great rishi and he becomes guru of Krishna, Sri Krishna's guru. Okay, Upamanyu then later in Mahabharata he becomes the guru of Krishna and he gives upadesha, diksha to Krishna himself. Okay, that's Upamanyu's story. And then we have one more and his name is, so there is shlokas here which we will cover sometime later. There are a lot of shlokas on Ashwinis, how we worshipped, but we will come to that later. The third one is, third student's name is Veda. Okay, Veda was again looking after everything at Dhaumya's house. He was doing all the service and whatever Dhaumya used to ask, he used to do that without any challenges. And there is no naughty stuff here. Okay, like or any great stories with Veda here. Okay, the only thing is he was a very good boy. He used to do everything without saying anything to Dhaumya, without even saying, if Guru says, go and put the, if your parents say, go and put the bins outside, you say, oh, mommy, oh, don't do it, right? So that kind of murmur was not there. If they say, if the parents ask you to do, clean this, you will say, I will do it later, right? Veda is not used to do that. Okay, he used to do whatever the guru used to say. Okay, whenever the guru used to say, he used to wake up before the guru, he used to do everything for the guru's puja and everything. Okay, so Dhaumya was pleased with him, and again he achieves full knowledge, all the Vedas and everything he learns from Dhaumya. And then Veda, after leaving Dhaumya's residence, he starts his own teaching. Okay, he starts teaching. Okay, and once he starts teaching, he gets the students called Janamejaya, the king we were talking about. Okay, Paushya, another king. Sorry, it says a spelling mistake here. Paushya. Okay, and then another student called Uttanka. Okay, there are three students mainly called out in Mahabharata. Three students. The difference in Veda's teaching, when Veda becomes a guru, is he was not very strict like his teacher. Okay, he was very gentle with his students because he thought, I experience all this hardship. My students should not experience like that. They should learn the language, they learn the knowledge easily, all the good students. Okay, so again, it's only to the good students the teacher teaches everything. Okay, so with that, so there are three students, Janamejaya, Paushya, both are Kshatriyas, both become kings. Okay, Janamejaya became a king and Paushya also became a king, and Uttanka. So the story then moves to Uttanka. Okay, so Uttanka's story is a little bit longer, but I will continue. So one day, what happens is Uttanka was there and Veda says, I'm going outside. Okay, you look after this ashram, this house. Okay, whatever happens here, whatever I used to do, you make sure all those things happen without any mistake. Okay, he gives responsibility to Veda, Uttanka. Okay, Veda gives that responsibility to Uttanka and goes away. That evening, Veda's wife comes to him and tells him that my husband is not here. You become my husband for today. Okay. And Uttanka says, no, I can't. I am the student. What my guru told me was only to look after the ashram. I can't become a guru on myself. Okay. I'm still a student. I have to live like a student. That test from Veda's wife. Okay. That was a test from Veda's wife. And Uttanka passes that test. So Veda becomes very pleased when he returns, hears about this, he becomes very pleased and he teaches him everything. And then at the end of that, Uttanka says, he tells Uttanka that you can leave now. You learned everything, you can go. And Uttanka says, I want to give you Guru Dakshina. Guru Dakshina is something a student gives to teacher at the end of their learning. Okay. So Guru Dakshina, he says, I want to give Guru Dakshina. Veda says, no, I don't want anything. Be good. Okay. Do your duties properly. That's enough. Okay. But Uttanka says, no, I still want to give something to you. Tell me what should I give? And then Uttanka says, go and ask my wife what she wants. Okay. So Uttanka goes to his Guru Mata. Okay. The mother. He goes to her and asks, what shall I give Guru Dakshina? She says, because you want to give, I want a pair of earrings. Okay. And it's not any ordinary earrings. I want the earrings worn by Queen. Okay. Pausya. Okay. Pausya, if you remember, he is the one of the student of Veda himself, right? Uttanka's classmate. Okay. Pausya's wife. I want Pausya's wife wears I have seen her wearing very good earrings. I want those earrings and I want them within 4 days. In 4 days, lot of Brahmins are coming to our house. I'm going to feed them. When I feed them, okay, the earrings should be like this, okay, hanging in my ears. Okay, she tells him. Okay. Otherwise, I'm not going to accept it. If you bring it later, I'm not going to accept it. When I feed them, I have to have those earrings in my ears. Okay. Uttanka thinks, okay, I will go and ask Pausya. And then he sets off. Okay. On his way, he sees a large bull. Okay. Large bull with on top of that bull, a large man was standing. And then that man says, where are you going? He says, I'm going to get this earring. Okay. And then that man says, eat the cow dung. Okay. The bull's dung, whatever that has come, eat it. Okay. And Uttanka says, why should I eat it? He says, that man says, your Guru Veda, when I told him to eat it, he ate it. Are you asking me now question? Okay. Then Uttanka says, if my Guru has done it, I'm going to do it. And he eats cow dung. Okay. And then he sets home. Okay. From there, he goes away. Okay. I know some of you are laughing. I'll tell you the reasons what happens here. Okay. Later on this story. Okay. So he eats and he goes to Pausya's kingdom. Okay. Palace. And then he meets Pausya. And then he says, I come here for Guru Dakshina. And my Guru Mata, she asked for the earrings from the queen. And Pausya says, go and see the queen in her palace. Okay. And ask her and she will give it to you. Uttanka goes to the palace, queen's palace, and he looks around. He could not see the queen anywhere. Okay. Then he comes back to Pausya and says, you just told me a lie. I went there. There is nobody. You just fooled me around. Pausya says, no, it must be something wrong with you. Queen is definitely there. Uttanka thinks about what wrong I might have done. Okay. And then he realizes that he's not clean. Okay. Because he ate something. After that, he did not purify himself. Okay. So he purifies himself by doing achumana. Achumana, you might have seen people sipping waters. Okay. So he takes water, he purifies himself, he goes to the queen's palace, and then there he sees the queen. And queen, he tells everything that why he was there. And the queen accepts whatever he is asking. She gives him the earrings, but warns him that these earrings are very precious. Okay. The snakes, especially a snake called Takshaka, is looking for this jewel. Okay. You have to be very careful when you're taking this because Takshaka might snatch it from you and take it away. Okay. So Uttanka says, okay. And then when Uttanka was about to leave, the king Pausha says, because you are here, I want to do Shraddha. Shraddha is something when one does to their ancestors, okay, deceased ancestors, you offer rice balls, okay, pinda, it is called pinda. So again, Shraddha is done on a specific days, but Shraddha is also done when a Brahmin comes, when a deserved Brahmin, Shraddha again, not every Brahmin is invited for Shraddhas. Okay, when a learned Brahmin who is following his duties properly, when such a Brahmin comes, that day is considered special for Shraddhas. Okay, there is a days when the ancestors died. Okay, that day Shraddha is done, but also the day when a Brahmin comes, okay, and that Brahmin is worthy of feeding on a Shraddha lunch, dinner, that day Shraddha is also considered special, auspicious. Okay, so Pausha says, because you are here, I want to feed. Okay, and feeding Brahmana is again a great thing. Okay, so he says, I want to feed. And when Uttanka serves him, Pausha serves the lunch to meal to Uttanka, he finds a hair in it, and the food was very cold. Okay, cold food and with hair, these are not good things. Okay, Uttanka says the food has hair in it. The Pausha says, my food is never like that. You are telling lies now just because earlier you could not find queen when you went to see that. You told me that I told you lie. Now you are telling lies again. Uttanka says, because you could not see it, anything with the food, you go blind. Okay, he curses him. And then king curses him, saying that because you could not control your anger, you become issueless. That means you don't have any children. You will not have any children in future. But Uttanka explains that food is indeed, it is unclean. It has hair in it. It is cold. Okay, it is not freshly cooked. And then king apologizes. King checks all these things and apologizes. And then Uttanka says his blindness will be only for a limited time. Okay, he reduces his curse. And also Uttanka says leaves that palace after having his meal, freshly cooked meal. Uttanka leaves that palace. On his way, Uttanka comes and it is evening time and he has to offer his prayers. Okay, so he has to offer his prayers. What Uttanka does is he keeps the jewels, the earrings on a river bank and he goes to river to offer his argya to sun. At that time, what happens is the Takshaka, the snake, comes and takes those jewels and runs away. Okay. So Uttanka, after finishing his prayers, comes back and sees this has disappeared and he sees a snake running away. He chases that snake and snake goes into a hole. Okay. And he starts digging. Uttanka starts digging. You know, the rishis have a stick with them. Okay. He starts digging with that stick. And while he was digging, Indra blesses him and that stick he makes him as a Vajra. Vajra is Indra's weapon. Okay. He makes that stick itself, he gives the power of weapon of Indra's Vajra. Okay. With that, every time Uttanka hammers it, that hole, it becomes such a big hole, it takes him to Patala. Patala is underworld. Okay. There, all the snakes are residing. Okay. All the snakes are residing. He goes there. There he goes, he could see lot of jewels. Okay, because snakes collect all the jewels. Okay, he seeks a lot of jewels, but he could not find his earring. The one he was looking for. There he sees a horse. Okay, and on top of that a man was sitting. Okay, and then he was praying. Okay, what should I do now, because it's already getting late and I have to go back within 4 days. And then the horse tells him that blow my tail. Okay, blow air into my tail. Okay, and Uttanka goes and blows his tail, and suddenly a huge fireball comes out. Okay, from that entire underworld becomes fire, and all the snakes are worried and they came running. And then Takshaka, with his earrings, he brings the earrings and gives it to Uttanka. Okay, and then Uttanka returns home with the earrings and gives it to his Guru Mata. At that time, Veda says, all these things and Uttanka asks him, who are these people? I've seen all these strange things I've seen. A man on a bull asked me to eat cow dung. Okay, and then a person asked me to blow his tail. A horse asked me to blow his tail. What are all these things? Okay, and then Veda says the person on the bull is none other than Indra himself. Okay, Indra knew that you are going to get into trouble. That's why he came in that form. And whatever he asked you to eat is nothing but Amrita, nectar itself. Okay, so because you ate that nectar, okay, when you went into snake's poisonous region, you did not die. Otherwise, you would have been burnt alive by the snake poison. Okay, so that's why you did not die. Okay, and the person on the horse shape, they were Varuna and Agni. Okay, the god Varuna is the lord of oceans, as Agni is the fire. Okay, that's why the fireball came out. When you blow it, you are blowing actually the fire, and then the fire became bigger, and that's how you are benefited from that. Okay, so Veda explains all this, and then Uttanka thinks he himself blessed. Okay, and then he leaves Veda's ashrama from that point. But then Uttanka was thinking, I went through all this trouble to get a earring. Okay, it's all because of that one person, Takshaka, right? Takshaka did all this harm to me. If he did not steal that earrings, I would have reached here without any trouble. So he wants to take a revenge. So what he does is, he goes to Hastinapura and meets King Janamejaya. Okay, he goes to Janamejaya and then informs him that your father, King Janamejaya, your father, Parikshita, was killed by Takshaka. Okay, that's what he informs him. Okay, Uttanka informs Janamejaya that Janamajaya's father was killed by Takshaka himself. Okay, and then so he says that when Takshaka was about to kill him, there was a Brahmana, who was ready to revive the king, but Takshaka sent him back. Okay, he gives that secret, and then Janamejaya inquires about from his ministers about his father's death. And after all this, Janamejaya becomes very sad hearing how his father died. Okay, so that then leads into Janamejaya thinking about doing a sacrifice in which he is going to kill the snakes. Okay, so all the snakes he want to kill. So that's when he decides he want to kill all the snakes. So that's the story, okay, of Uttanka. Uttanka again becomes another famous rishi. Okay, he learns a lot of everything, and finally, in Mahabharata, normally everyone knows that Arjuna saw the Vishwarupa. Vishwarupa is Krishna showing his Brahma Swarupa. Okay, all the gods and everything is Rupa. But later in Mahabharata, Uttanka also sees Krishna in his Vishwarupa. Okay, so Uttanka, Krishna blesses him, and Uttanka sees that Rupa as well. So Vishwarupa, Uttanka also sees that. So Uttanka is another famous origin, and there are a lot of other stories coming out from Uttanka related to Uttanka as well in Mahabharata, which we will learn as we go along. So that's the story of 3 students from Dhaumya: Aruni, Upamanyu, Veda, and then Veda's student Uttanka. Okay, and then how Janamejaya learned about his father's death. In the future classes, we will learn more about why did Takshaka kill Parikshita, not Janamejaya, Janamajaya's father Parikshita, why did Takshaka kill, and all the other stories, why did snakes were destined to get burnt in the fire, sacrificed. Why were they like that? All these things we probably will learn in the tomorrow and upcoming classes. Okay. Any questions for today? We got about 2 minutes. Akila.
If the snakes all burned by fire, why are there snakes today?
That's the secret I'm going to tell you next week when I tell the stories. Very good question. Very good question. Okay. The snake sacrifice was to kill all the snakes. Okay. But something happens in the sacrifice. Okay. I'll tell you that next week. Aryan?
Did the curse that the king put on Uttanka, was it removed?
Yeah, the reason is Uttanka says when the king cursed, Uttanka says that even though you cursed me, okay, saying I am lying, because I did not lie, your curse does not affect me. Okay, so if someone curses another person, if the person who's done wrong, then only it impacts them. Okay, otherwise what we learn from that is the curses, if everybody says, somebody says nasty things to us, if we haven't done anything wrong, it won't affect us. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Anna?
Why are the snakes poisonous in the story?
Yeah, there are a lot of other snakes which are poisonous. We will talk about that tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, day after tomorrow. Okay. Raghav, Kaumadi.
My question is that when Uttanka, Veda's disciple, who was a king, he got a curse that from Uttanka that he would be blind. But when was that time? He said